¿Qué pasa YouTube? How's it going, everybody? Got for you guys today the second upload of today. Now, if you missed the first upload, which was the final part of mine and Kyo session, a link to that will be down in the description, or there will be an annotation on your screen, as well as a link to my upload from yesterday if you missed that as well, so you guys can go check both those out. They come back to this one or check them out after this battle. But yeah, much like always, guys, if we could try to get 300 likes, that would be absolutely amazing. So if you do enjoy this, by all means, make sure to hit that like button. You definitely know that I do really appreciate the support you guys are showing me. And now, looking at team preview, this is actually a team that I did a previous battle with, and some of you guys actually told me to use it again, and it's based around this really cool Lipart set that I got from my boy Richard, that he got from Oversized D, who subscribed to the both of us. So this is not mine or Richard's set. This is a set that he got from him, then Richard gave it to me, and I kind of just built around that. Next off, we have Gramble, and I'm actually using Rest Talk Gramble this time. Reason being is that Rest Talk Gramble is actually really good. Like, honestly, guys, if you need a solid physical wall that can deal with just about anything, or, well, you could go with Vileplume, but I like Gramble. I definitely think Gramble is really underrated right now. It's really good, especially with Rest Talk, because it has a good form of recovery, and Play Rough and Thunder Wave are good together. Although Thunder Wave isn't necessarily the last move you have to run. You could put like Earthquake, Toxic, Roar, Rock Tomb for Fletchinder. And speaking of Fletchinder, guys, I know there is no item. That is because Fletchinder has Acrobatics. Now, before you comment, oh Leo, you can just put Flying Gem. I wish I could, but for those of you who don't know, the Flying Gem is not out yet. And yeah, that's really it. That's why this has no item, because there's no Flying Gem, and I don't want to use Citrus Berry because I already have Roost. What's the point of the Citrus Berry? This just gonna cripple me when I need to come with Fletchinder and Acrobatics. So there is no item for a reason. Next, we have Kangaskhan, which actually Kangaskhan is really good right now. I run more of a bulky spread just because, I mean, I have Xatu, Gramble, and Fletchinder that can all take on Sock, so I don't really need to run a lot of speed to outspeed it, just because I like bulky, and I mean, I already have two forms of priority, and Kangaskhan does have very good natural bulk. Then we have good old offensive Xatu, which I actually really like, although I've been kind of thinking about changing Rocky Helmet to Life Orb, but there are situations where Rocky Helmet does really come in handy, so I think I'm just going to keep it for Rocky Helmet for now. And then finally off, we have good old specially defensive Seismitoad, and to be honest, I have really not seen Seismitoad at all lately. I guess just because Vileplume shot up in usage so much. But yeah, that's the team I will be using today, guys, and with that being said, let's get this started. Alright guys, so we got a battle here, and this dude has a very fun looking team. I have not seen Wigglytuff in a while, actually. I have faced one. I know these get competitive, so I guess like Defog and Shenanigans. And he also doesn't have a Stealth Rocker, which is going to be really good for me. I've also been noticing a lot of non-stealth rocking teams. I don't really agree with that, even though yes, Defog is so common. Hazards are still very nice to have on teams. Actually, do you guys, when you guys make teams, do you like always put a Stealth Rocker, or do you sometimes not? Because for me, like, I always have to have a Stealth Rocker. I don't like not having Stealth Rocks, at least as a hazard. And then when it comes to spikes, I don't like just having spikes as a hazard. I like to have spikes and rocks, or at least rocks, not just spikes, or just talk spikes, if you get what I'm trying to say. Anyways, I already put the timer on me. Threats though, Magneton could be a bit of a problem, so I'm gonna have to watch out for that. Looking at leads though, definitely think Kangaskhan is my best lead, just because I do have the priority fake out, as he does end up leading off with the Magneton. I'm gonna go share for the fake out just to get off a little bit of chip damage, as he actually makes a nice play, just brings in his Girder. And what I was also thinking about doing was going for the Drain Punch, but I didn't want to go for that right off the bat. And because he hard switched out, I'm thinking that maybe he's actually not Scarfed, so it's going to be some nice information as he brought in the Girder. What I'm going to do is probably just switch right into my Gramble, because at that point, I should be able to just safely go for a Thunder Wave, not having to worry about anything that he wants to bring in. Although, he could bring in the Magneton now that I think about it, so what I might do is just pull a double switch, I believe. Yeah, because I can really do nothing to that Magneton. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to double out into my Kangaskhan, as he just ends up going for the knockoff on my predicted switch in. And as I said, Magneton is just such a huge problem, because I don't want to bring in my Seismitoad on the off chance that he is Eviolite or Extra belted. As I do catch the switching in of Magneton, I'm now sitting in a very, very good position to be able to just safely go for the Drain Punch or the return. And I honestly believe that just return should be my best move to go for. Although, because if he's Choice Specs Analytic, then I am not going to be taking that Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, or Flash Cannon at all. So I'm going to make a bit of a ballsy play and bring in Seismitoad. Oh, he Flash Cannons. Okay, good. And I should definitely be able to take a Hidden Power Grass. So what I'm going to do is just go for the safe Earthquake, because I do not want to mess around with this Magneton. It is definitely a huge threat to my team. And even if he brings in Mismagius, I think I can live an Energy Ball, and then I can just go for the knockoff, or maybe even, I don't know, because I want to get on my Stealth Rocks, but I don't want to go straight for them, because as I said, if he does have Hidden Power Grass, that'll be really bad for me, because I really do want to keep my Seismitoad around, because it'll really come in handy against that Feraligatr from preventing it to just spam Aqua Jet and Waterfall so freely, and then I can just knock off it or even burn it with a Scald, or just start to wear it down with Earthquake. So I'm just gonna never mind. So he's gonna switch out into the Magneton, not Magneton, Mismagius. I thought he would do this, but as I said, just Earthquake was honestly my safest play to do in that situation, as I believe I should be able to just switch right into my Kangaskhan, because I do have Scrappy, so I can fake out and then just go from there. As he goes for the Nasty Plot. Ooh, I'm not at all worried about this. Well, actually, I am. I'm a little bit worried. I'm not gonna lie, but I shouldn't be in too bad of a See, this is what happens live. I'm not cutting that out. This is what happens live. As I was gonna say, I should be in a good position just to be able to go for the fake out. Then I can get if I can get a free switch in the Fletchinder, Acrobatics should be more than enough to knock out Mismagius, just because honestly Mismagius really isn't the most bulkiest Pokemon around on the physical defensive side, and it looks like he's taken. I don't think Showdown is lagging, so I'm just gonna pause until he does make a move. Alright, so he ends up making the safe switch back out into his Magneton, fearing the fake out, and now hold on, I always tell myself that I'm gonna open up the damage calc when I'm gonna record, but I never do that, and I just always end up forgetting. See, this is a situation where if I had Earthquake, it would really come in handy, but I like to have Drain Punch. As you can see there, it would just die. It would just die. Violite. Let's just put max HP. Holy crap, that does nothing. This is no bueno. I can still... No, I was about to say, I can still fake it. I was like, whoa, let me stop for a second there. I need to get off the damage, as he actually over-predicts, and he does turn out to be Scarfed. I'm able to knock him out with the Drain Punch, which means Magneton, his biggest threat, is out of the way. I don't know why he switched out first turn then. That was... I guess he was trying to bluff it, which I guess is kind of understandable. But yeah, I was honestly in a situation where if I messed around with this Magneton, it was going to prove to be an even bigger problem than it already was. So I decided just to make the aggressive play by staying in and just trying to get off chip damage with Drain Punch, and then hopefully follow it up with a Sucker Punch. But he actually ends up getting knocked out because he over-predicted, and Drain Punch was strong enough to knock him out. Kangaskhan is still sitting at a good amount of HP, and then I can also kind of keep that Mismagius at check, which is going to be really good for me. So he's going to bring back in the Girder. I could honestly switch right into my Fletchinder, but I don't know if I... Because I have actually ran into a Girder that had Stone Edge. I know that may seem odd, but it had Stone Edge, and I was like, are you kidding me? So I don't want to switch right into Fletchinder. So what I'm going to do is actually bring in my Gramble. Unfortunately, though, if he does pull a double, I switch in first, and then he'll switch out. So he ends up just going for the safe Drain Punch. I'm fine with this, seeing as the following turn I can easily just go for a Play Rough, because if you look at his team, nothing really wants to take a hit. Although I think I might Thunder Wave, as odd as it might sound. Yeah, because I still have Zatu. Although, actually, hold on. How fast is Zatu now that I think about it? Okay, I need to keep Zatu at a good amount of HP to take on that for Alligator. So what I'm going to do is just make the aggressive play and go straight for the play rough. His only real switch-in is going to be that Wigglytuff. Which even then, play rough should still do a decent amount of damage. My mouth is dry. I apologize if I'm like slurring and messing up so many words. And I don't want to like walk 2 feet. Well, not even 2 feet. I don't want to walk to the other side of my house to get some water. As unfortunately for him, I actually end up getting a crit. I don't know how much that crit is going to really end up mattering. So what I'm going to do is just switch right into my Zatu, because if I go for another play rough, I just bring him down to a torrent range. And by bringing in my Zatu on his possible SD, actually if he is DD, that could be a little bit of a problem, but then at that point I can just bring in Gramble, Intimidate. As long as I don't get flinched by Waterfall, I should be able to just Thunder Wave. So from looks of it, I'm in a solid position so far in this battle. I really have nothing to fear from anything, I think. Because Fletchinder should definitely be my win condition after I get rid of that Linoon, or even... Are you kidding me? You would be Dragon Dance! Oh! That's actually a little terrifying. Shit. Ah. The question is, though, is he going to go straight? No, I have to make the aggressive play. I have to stay in as he Ice Punches crap. Okay, I was not expecting Ice Punch whatsoever. But now I can bring in my good old faithful Kangaskhan and just go straight for the fake out. See, if he has Dragon Dance, that means he most likely didn't have Aqua Jet. So my Fletchinder could have definitely come in and revenge killed him after I wore him down a little. Plus, I do still have Seismitoad that could have come in. So, yeah, it's not really that big of an issue. And honestly, I have no reason to not just straight up Sucker Punch. Because if you really wanted to, you could have Dragon Dance and Dragon Dance. I still have Seismitoad, which actually what I should have done was probably switched into Seismitoad, or what I could have done if you did Dragon Dance was then bring in Gramble to get the Intimidate off, then switch into Seismitoad. As he brings back in the Girder. Girder is a nice check to my Kangaskhan. And I can't knock him out with one hit. Luckily though, I do still have my Gramble. And I don't think Acrobatics Oko's Girder at full HP. Acrobatics, Girder. No, it does not. If he is max HP, it only does 55 to 65. So yeah, I definitely need to make just the safe play and bring back in my Gramble. Now, if you're wondering why I'm not switching right into Fletchinder to just a setup like crazy, it's because Linoon tend to carry extreme speed, and he most likely might be able to knock me out. Which is why I don't want to set up with Fletchinder then just lose to Linoon. If I can get rid of Linoon, then I can bring in Fletchinder SD on the Girder and just go from there. As he brings in the Wigglytuff, I'm going to make the safe play and just go for the Thunder Wave, just to kind of, not going to lie, hope for some paralysis so I can have an easier time dealing with this thing as he actually gets paralyzed the first time that I go for it. And I think what I'm going to do is switch right into my Toad. This way I can get on my Stealth Rocks and just start getting that little bit of residual damage on his team. And this is why Rocks, guys, I'm telling you, Rocks are just so helpful, because this will put me in an even better position to be able to get that necessary 12%, well, 6% on Girder, but that extra percent of damage on his team, so I can have a much easier time taking them down. So I'm going to bring this in as he goes for Dazzling Gleam. That does way too much damage to especially defensive Seismitoad for that to not be offensive Wigglytuff. And I'm just going to take the chance to get up the Stealth Rocks. I don't think this Learn's Energy Ball does it. Nope, as he's just going to stay in and he's going to spam that move. I think what I'm going to do is just start wearing this down with Earthquake. Because I don't really think I need my Toad at this point. And I can just try to get off solid damage as he gets paralyzed. I do kind of feel bad, but then again, as I said, I only went for Thunder Wave to get paralyzed Haxes. That's really the only reason you ever... Don't be that guy and be like, oh, you're relying on Hax, you're so lame. No, if you go for Thunder Wave, then you want them to get paralyzed. No one goes for Thunder Wave just to lower their speed. No, that is not the case. You go for Thunder Wave so they can get lower speed and to get paralyzed, so you can use that free extra turn to your advantage. So I'm able to knock him out as I get 2 high damage rolls with Earthquake. And at this point, I'm in a very, very solid position. The Linoon. Hello? Oh, okay, I just had a huge scare there for a second. Holy crap. I really hope this is still recording, because if it's not, I'm going to be really upset. I'm actually a little bit worried right now. Anyways, he brings in the Linoon, probably as a last ditch effort, but he actually goes straight for the C-bomb, because I mean, even if he did go for the belly drum, Earthquake would have brought him down to most likely to the point where I could have just brought in Kangaskhan, faked out, switched into Gramble, foddered Gramble, bring back in Kangaskhan, then knocked him out with another fake out. So yeah, he kind of just sped up the process at this point. And definitely just going to bring in Kangaskhan, I believe, because honestly, Kangaskhan at this point should be able to win me the battle, and Kangaskhan has put in the most work in this game. Damn. I really like Kangaskhan, for those of you who don't know. Kangaskhan has been one of my favorite Pokemon since late NU of last gen. And I think what I'm going to do is just go straight for the Drain Punch. Well, no, because I don't think that'll knock him out. What I'm going to do is actually fake out, then Drain Punch, as he actually brings in the Mismagius. It doesn't really matter, because, yeah, look, fake out does 46%. 46%, ladies and gentlemen. And I should honestly just be able to safely go for the return, because I have nothing to worry about. As he goes for the Dazzling Gleam, doesn't do entirely too much damage, as I'm able to knock him out. This is the first time Kangaskhan has taken damage at all through this game, as he brings back in the Girder. I think I'm in a position where I can bring in Fletchinder. So what I'm going to do is switch into my Fletchinder, go for the Acrobatics, then bring back in Kangaskhan, as he actually ends up going for the bulk up, making a nice play, and an aggressive play, I believe, because now Acrobatics obviously won't do as much damage to him, but Knockoff shouldn't be able to knock me out, as I still get off a good amount of damage, and he gets a crit, not even bad. That's actually a little bit upsetting, but Acrobatics should bring him down to the point where I can just bring in my Kangaskhan and knock him out, as he ends up going for the Drain Punch, knowing that my Fletchinder would be able to outspeed him. And then Kangaskhan, see, even though this team was made around Liepard really did not come in handy too much in this game, just because Girder obviously resists Dark Pulse, and Linoon has +2 stab in the form of extreme speed, as he just barely lives. Holy crap. I'm gonna Sucker Punch, because I'm not gonna mess around with this thing. I was actually a little bit skeptical that Sucker Punch wouldn't knock him out, but I was like, well, he's only at 2%. This should do at least 2%. And with Linoon being his last Pokemon, I should be able to just safely knock him out with the return, because I don't want to mess around with the Drain Punch, as he does turn out to be Belly Drum, just as I thought he would be, but it really doesn't matter. So I'm able to knock him out, and that is the victory in my favor. So yeah, guys. Oh, also, hold on. I don't like this background to show you guys the team. I like this one because you can actually see the EV spreads and stuff. But yeah, this team is definitely a lot of fun. I really do enjoy this team. And Fletchinder is really awesome. So is Kangaskhan. You should definitely try Kangaskhan. Although most Kangaskhan, I believe, run up to 270 speed, or they run a Jolly max speed, just to be able to outspeed Sock, which can just come in close combat, or you can just hit him up with a fake out. Then I believe Return or Double Edge does knock them out. And Gramble definitely came in handy. Unfortunately, Liepard did not come in